What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here, back again with another video. Elimination Chamber 2026 did take place on Saturday, February 28th from Chicago, Illinois. And yes, it is Monday. I did aim to post it yesterday, but ultimately, I'm just really busy on Sundays these days. I'm out like all day. So going forward is probably going to be the norm that the PLE reviews get postponed today, which I'm very sorry about. But we have it today, Elimination Chamber 2026. Let's talk about it. Our opening match of the night was Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez all locked inside the Elimination Chamber, where the winner would go on to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania 42. The odd one out in this match was definitely Kiana James, man. Once again, just like I said in my predictions, Kiana James is not a bad wrestler by any stretch, but I really don't understand why they're pushing her really hard now over people like Bailey and Lara Valkyria and Kairi Sane and Io Sky, people like that who didn't make this match, and even Julia, man. Like she's been a manager to Julia for the past like year, and now she's suddenly getting like big singles opportunities. Like she was one of the Iron Women in the Royal Rumble. She's now getting a spot in Elimination Chamber over these big names. Like I really don't understand it, man. And I feel like she wasn't really that impressive overall in this match. She was kind of just fed to Raquel Rodriguez because like number six came in, Raquel Rodriguez. She was displayed as like a powerhouse and stuff. She eliminated Asuka. She eliminated Kiana James. She actually eliminated Kiana and Asuka at the same time after a Tahana bomb, so that was pretty cool. But before that, I thought it was really dumb the way Alexa Bliss got eliminated because she was pinned by Kiana James as well. Asuka just hit her with the mist, and then she got rolled up for a pin. I would have liked to seen Alexa Bliss last longer in this match because she wasn't even someone who entered first, and then she got eliminated first, which was pretty disappointing. But Tiffany Stratton managed to hit the prettiest moonsault ever to eliminate Raquel Rodriguez, and then it came down to Strapley, Tiffany Stratton, and Rhea Ripley, if you remember that term from back in the day. Came down to these two. Not gonna lie, before SmackDown, I was really looking for a Tiffany Stratton victory. I didn't really want it to happen because I didn't really want to see Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton again. But after Rio lost the tag team titles on SmackDown really randomly, I'm like, yeah, I feel like they're just clearing Rhea Ripley up so she can have a singles match with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, and that is what happened. So I did end up changing my prediction, and it was correct because Rhea Ripley managed to put Tiffany Stratton away after a pretty good sequence with a Riptide to win the Elimination Chamber. I'm definitely glad Rhea Ripley won. Her versus Jade Cargill was kind of a random match, but I'm glad it's something fresh for WrestleMania, man. Not just another rematch between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. They're actually doing something fresh here, which I'm very glad about. So Mommy is going to WrestleMania to face Jade Cargill, and she might win. I don't know. It would be kind of weird to have her just randomly move over to SmackDown. I could see Rhea Ripley winning on the grand stage. We'll just have to see what happens. But Rhea Ripley did win the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Next, we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. AJ Lee's first one-on-one match since 2015 in front of her adopted hometown crowd of Chicago at the United Center. This was definitely a pretty good match here. I feel like it was kind of overbooked in a sense because like you had all the different shenanigans. We had an exposed turnbuckle. We had a ref bump and all that. We had a fake tap out from Becky Lynch where the ref was down and Becky Lynch tapped out and it wasn't picked up by the referee, so it didn't count. I felt this match was kind of overbooked, but I did enjoy it at the same time. Although by far I feel like this was the weakest match on the show. It just had some stiff competition, like with the two chamber matches and then the Punk versus Balor match. But it was definitely cool to see an unexpected victory here because personally, I thought Becky Lynch was going to retain here via some shenanigans, maybe like to cheat a little bit, maybe grab the tights of AJ Lee or something, and then AJ Lee would have a reason to go back at WrestleMania and be like, "Hey, you didn't really beat me. Well, I won like a stipulation match at WrestleMania or something." So I thought that was the direction they were going to go in here. But that's not actually what happened. We saw AJ Lee tap out Becky Lynch for the third straight time with the Black Widow and win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Her first title since she won the Divas Championship back in 24. Since she lost the Divas Championship, excuse me, back in 2014. She lost it to Paige then after WrestleMania 30, and now she's got the Women's Intercontinental Championship again. I'm assuming that she's not gonna hold it for long. I think Becky Lynch is gonna. I think they're gonna run it back with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and then Becky Lynch is gonna get the title back again because I really don't see them keeping the title on a part timer, keeping the IC title on a part timer for very long. I don't think that really works. I feel like they're gonna do like a John Cena thing here when he won the IC title last year, where it's just a feel good moment, like, hey, this is a hometown crowd, let's give them the IC title, and then they'll just lose it in their first defense, like when Cena lost the title to Dominic. I feel like AJ is gonna lose it back to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 42, but let's enjoy it while it lasts. AJ Lee is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. That is very cool. From one title match in the Brooks household to another, CM Punk defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor. I was very hyped for this match, and honestly, it did not disappoint. I'm very glad that Finn Balor has his old theme song back full time now, even if he's not a full blown babyface. It's very cool to see Catch Your Breath back for Finn Balor. And speaking of theme songs, CM Punk had a wicked cool entrance where he had this really cinematic walk while the basketball PA announcer announced him down to the ring. It was very, very cool. He also had a wicked attire during this match. I loved the red trunks and the red boots here for CM Punk. It's kind of like this figure here, except this one's kind of inaccurate because he doesn't he's got the incomplete tattoos on the chest. He doesn't have all the tattoos and all that. But this is just the closest thing we've ever gotten to Elimination Chamber 2026 from Mattel, obviously. But we saw some really cool moments in this match. One of them was when Finn Balor was going up top for a coup de grace, and literally one of the smoothest counters I've ever seen when CM Punk turned a coup de grace into a sharpshooter. Am I the only one who just really loved that, man? I thought that was really, really smooth and really awesome. It didn't look sloppy whatsoever. Like, dude, that was absolutely awesome. We saw Finn Balor kick CM Punk right through the barricade with a missile drop kick, and then after this, it looked like Finn Balor was going to win the World Heavyweight title. He had CM Punk in the drop zone, but CM Punk managed to get out, and he hit him with a go-to sleep to pick up the victory and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, we did see Finn Balor actually show some respect to CM Punk with a handshake. So yeah, I guess Finn Balor is going to be showing some more babyface tenacity. And I have a bold prediction for Mania where it's going to be Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Finn Balor's a babyface again, and he brings back the Demon King persona. He paints himself all up again to take on Dominic Mysterio, and he wins the Intercontinental Championship. And then we see babyface Balor holding a singles title once again, which is going to be very awesome if that does happen. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for babyface Finn Balor, and I'm also excited for CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. We saw Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis open up the crate that was only to be revealed on the day of Elimination Chamber, and it was Danhausen. Now, obviously, I feel like Danhausen was the only guy who could have been in here because, like, if it was Chris Jericho being locked in a box with no food and no water for like 2 weeks, like that would have been unrealistic and dumb. But with Danhausen, I feel like it fits more because like it fits character and all that. But I don't know, man. I feel like this was kind of a waste of TV time because like you just had Danhausen come out with all the female Danhausens. I guess I do like his theme song. I feel like his theme song does fit his presentation a lot, which is rare in this day and age for WWE. But I don't know, this was just kind of stupid, man. He handed Michael Cole a jar of teeth and he cursed the entire arena or whatever. I just feel like this was a waste of a surprise that a lot of people were buzzing about and a bit of a waste of TV time. Like I've said before, I don't really care about Danhausen. I'm not really a big fan of his character work, but it is what it is, I guess. I feel like everybody should have at least one chance to be in the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, of course, WWE. So I'm happy for Danhausen here. He got a bit of a hometown moment here because, of course, his hometown is Chicago, Illinois. People are saying they booed him in his hometown, but when you look back at the footage, they only booed once the lights got turned off. So that implies that they wanted more Danhausen in that arena or something. They were not booing Danhausen in that arena. Let's be honest here. And the final match of the night, the main event, the men's elimination chamber, where the winner would face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42. We had Javon Evans and Cody Rhodes starting things off, as well as the other people in this match being LA Knight, Trick Williams, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton. I did like this match a lot, dude, okay? I feel like everybody got a good chance to shine. We had some cool moments from Javon Evans here. We had LA Knight hit a massive BFT on Javon Evans on top of the pod, which was pretty crazy. I feel like there's a lot of margin for error there because you know that those pods they aren't like crazy wide. So there was definitely a lot of margin for error there. I feel like Trick Williams got some time to shine. Logan Paul had a really good run in this match. He actually eliminated Javon Evans, LA Knight, and Trick Williams. The only guy who I feel like didn't really get much of a spot in this match was LA Knight, dude. He was kind of just rolled up by Logan Paul for a quick elimination. I believe he was he was actually the second elimination, which was pretty disappointing. And he did have a pretty nasty botch, not gonna lie, because he tried to jump from the second to the top rope on Randy Orton, but he fell. And then it was kind of awkward. He just had to hit a standing elbow drop on Randy Orton. But something I didn't point out during the CM Punk versus Finn Balor match, Finn Balor slipped on that literally exact same second rope that LA Knight slipped on. So I don't know if there was like too much sweat or grease or oil on it or something. I don't know if it wasn't fastened properly, but the two slips on that same rope in one night really, I feel like that's something that should be paid attention to. I don't know if that I don't know if that rope was really too safe for such a high risk match as Elimination Chamber. But LA Knight really didn't have that good of a showing, not gonna lie. But as time went on, we saw we saw the masked man come in, of course. So the masked man, he tries to climb to the top of the chamber, which is really impractical because I really don't know how you're gonna get in there like that. But he got carried away by security. He got detained, and then they took his mask off, and it was just another random dude, man, just like on SmackDown. This time was like a platinum haired dude, which I really couldn't match up a figure head sculpt for. The Mr. Perfect head sculpt is the only one that I really have that would work. But I feel like that was another one of Seth Rollins' wrestling school students there that he sent as like a decoy to throw the vision off the scent that it could be Seth Rollins or something like that. Because it was Seth Rollins. We had Seth Rollins here. He came in as another masked man, hit a stomp on Logan Paul, laying him out and allowing Cody Rhodes to pick up a pinfall, and then he unmasked and revealed himself to be Seth Rollins. Very, very awesome. Obviously, we all saw it coming from a mile away. As soon as we saw him for the first time at the Royal Rumble, we all knew it was going to be Seth Rollins. But it is really awesome to see him back, and I hope Braun Breaker is able to come back in time for WrestleMania because he got a hernia. I hope he's clear. He gets the all clear in time for WrestleMania so we can see the Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker match. If not, it looks like they would go in the direction where it's Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. So at least there is some history there because they did fight at WrestleMania 39. So that would be a good match, at least judging by it making sense in storyline. Then we saw the final two in the Elimination Chamber, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, and I'm just like, man, this is gonna be horrible. They're just gonna hit each other and be like, oh my gosh, man, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that, man. But luckily, that's not quite what happened. We saw Drew McIntyre come in through the still open door that they still had open, which was really weird. And then he hit Cody in the back of the neck with a WWE Championship. And then he brawled with Cody for a second. Randy hit Drew McIntyre with an RKO. Cody Rhodes hit Drew McIntyre with a Crossroads. But then, boom! Randy Orton strikes with an RKO on Cody Rhodes, pins him 1, 2, 3, and Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber, man. Some people were predicting Randy Orton. I didn't think it was likely at all. I thought they were going to go in a direction where it's Cody winning the Chamber, and then Randy and Jacob Fatu get involved in this match somehow. That's what I thought they were going to do. But they just had Randy Orton win the Elimination Chamber, which is very, very awesome. I feel like Cody is going to get into the main event of WrestleMania somehow. Because yeah, they made it official on the post show that on SmackDown this Friday, it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Be sure to stay tuned for my review of that on Saturday. But they made that match official, so I feel like that Cody might win that match, and then it could be Cody and Randy at WrestleMania, or maybe it ends by DQ, and then Cody is able to get added to this match, maybe making a triple threat match or something, and then they add Jacob Fatu to it. That I don't know. I don't really know how they could do that, but I'm glad Randy Orton's spot is secure for the main event of WrestleMania. Did you know that Randy Orton hasn't main evented a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 30? That's literally 12 years ago, man. And he hasn't held a world title since 2020, where he beat, ironically, Drew McIntyre, and he lost it to, ironically, Drew McIntyre. He hasn't held a world title since then. So I do hold hope that Randy Orton does walk out of WrestleMania 42 with the WWE Championship around his waist. Hold on, let me make this. There you go, man. This better be the sight that we see at WrestleMania 42. Randy Orton defeating Drew McIntyre and possibly Cody Rhodes and possibly Jacob Fatu to win the WWE Championship. That would be very, very awesome. We're finally seeing Randy Orton get a sustained main event push again, it looks like, and I'm very excited about that because they've been wasting him a lot ever since his return to WWE in 2023. But here we go, man. Randy Orton's in the main event of WrestleMania. Let's go. I hear voices in my head that are telling me this is freaking awesome. But yeah, man, that has been your recap of WWE Elimination Chamber 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed. For my rating of this show, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like this was, for the record, my favorite show, my favorite PLE that they've done since the ESPN move back for WrestlePalooza. From WrestlePalooza until now, I feel like this was the best show that they've put together. Honestly, it's really not up against much. I feel like the second best show was, for the record, Crown Jewel, but this show definitely blew Crown Jewel out of the water, man. 8.5 out of 10 for me for Elimination Chamber 2026. But please let me know down in the comments down below what you thought of Elimination Chamber 2026. I'd also greatly appreciate it if you were to smash a like on this video, subscribe to Jed Wrestling, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video when I do post one. But yes, Jed Wrestling out.